Um, it gets cold here once the sun gets behind the houses. So it's a quick update on what I've done today and what I ought to have done but haven't yet. So I've cleaned this glass table, which I'm planning to use as my potting table, but it's a bit heavy. And also I haven't actually secured the polytunnel yet, so I need to go around the edges inside, so I really need the room at the moment, but I'll do that tomorrow. I was a bit busy with doing other things today. And then those are the grow bag trays that I use to store things in. I've washed those as well. That one that was kept on the floor is a lot dirtier than the others. The twigs I had piled up here, I've cut them up, but instead of putting them on the compost heap, I've put them on the side there so I can use them as stakes for the peas later on. When I mentioned yesterday or the day before my previous coffee table stroke potting table, that's it there. The sides had already been broken, so I used bricks to support it, and then because it's been left out in the open, the top finally went as well. So I don't know how to get rid of that. At some stage the landlord has promised to get a skip to take all the rubbish away, but I think that's been promised for 2 or 3 years now. So I'll show you stuff in the polytunnel. I think the only thing I'm going to do in the polytunnel is the broad beans. Everything else that's in there, I've just assembled it there for the purpose of this video. So so that's my chair that's been kept in the shed, so that's okay. There's actually a lot more debris on the floor than I thought yesterday. So tomorrow's main job will be clearing this up. So I've been watching a few YouTube videos, and I've decided in the end that I am actually going to give the Elsay onions a haircut. I've been convinced by Michigan gardener. He says that cutting the leaves will encourage the plants to grow more leaves, and more leaves equals more layers on the onion and bigger onions. So they're getting a haircut. We're going to the barber's tomorrow. The aubergines, for some reason, even though I despise the aubergine as a pretty useless vegetable because it doesn't have much nutrition in it, growing these aubergines has turned into the main thing I want to be a success at this year. So there's 20 there, and they all look quite good, and there's like 23 left here. So that was the one that I broke the stem off, and then a couple seem to have a broken leaf, or they've been damaged by me holding it or whatever. So I want to put these up, because what I'm doing, because I've got lack of space, I'm moving the aubergines into the polytunnel during the daytime, and then because it gets cold at night, they're going back into my room during the night time. And I don't want to be putting them up into individual things if I'm doing that. So what I've decided was, because these ones on the left look good, I'm going to move those into one of those. So I bought another one today. Whoops. From B&Q. I was just about to say they're a bit flimsy, but hopefully it survived that fall. The actual cups inside that the pots that the plants go in, this is because it's cheaply made in China, you have to sort of help pop them out yourself, because it hasn't been properly perforated. And this is a bit flimsy, so when you hold it by the side, and if it's heavy, because everything's wet with water, it does actually bend a bit, so you need to be a bit careful. So I am going to be doing the only thing I'm going to be sowing definitely this afternoon are these broad beans, because I've pre-soaked them. So I've got some of my what are they called, toilet rolls in there, and I bought these 2 containers from B&Q. What I liked about them, because I've kept broad beans and runner beans in toilet rolls before. So what I like about these is that they're quite deep, so it make it easier for the toilet rolls to stand up. And also this year, what I'm planning to do is have, like, say, a half an inch of compost at the bottom. So once the roots go out the bottom of the toilet roll tube, that they've got some other compost to look around. They don't have holes in, but I'm not worried about that, because of the toilet rolls themselves, they're always a good indicator of how much water there is there, and whether they need watering or not. So I find it quite easy to have the right amount of water for things in toilet roll holders. And I have done broad beans in toilet roll tubes before, and you'd think they might be a bit big and to unravel themselves to grow, but they seem to manage. They might complain, but I haven't heard any complaints, and they haven't really got any choice this year either. And the other thing that I spent money on was this double gravel tray, because what I do a lot of in the springtime is moving things backwards and forwards from the polytunnel to my room on cold nights, particularly peppers and tomatoes and the whatnot. So with this one, I'd be able to carry 2 seed trays at the same time. I also found out last night that rosemary benefits from being cold stratification, and these are actually expired 12/24, which is probably why Premier Seeds were selling them at a discount last year or the year before. So this is the question: does rosemary still need to get cold stratified if it's come from Italy? Because you wouldn't have thought all the rosemary in Italy gets cold stratified. So these are going to go in the fridge for 10 days or so, and then I'll plant them. And this time I am actually just going to put the packet in like this into the fridge. And then the other thing that I'm going to be working on probably this evening, the other urgency thing. These are the snack peppers. These are the orange ones, where there's like loads of them. And because there's loads of them, I've decided to put them into one of these 40 cell trays. So it's just a question of space in my room, and also the convenience of moving things backwards and forwards from my room to the polytunnel. So this is like not a very good thing to put them in, but I've got so many of them, some should survive. And the other peppers and snack peppers, I'm probably still going to be using these. Are these like 5 centimetre pots? Even though sometimes they don't seem to do well. They seem to be doing better this year, but that's because they're being kept in a warm environment under grow lights. So that's the end of the report. I better start putting things back in the house, and then move on to doing these broad beans. Okay, see ya. Yeah, so those other things I've been mentioning, such as doing that and doing these, I'll probably do those tomorrow. And next week, what I'll probably be doing is sowing the cabbage family and brassicas, and I'll probably be doing lots of stuff with wood chips, because it's going to be a dry week next week, and a dry and not much wind, so it's quite a good day for walking around with wheelbarrows of wood chips. And then also tomorrow morning I am actually going to work around the edge here, putting things like these metal spikes in. I have actually got some new ones as well, and then these breeze blocks, putting them on. This is the bit that faces the south or southwest, so this normally gets the brunt of the wind. So I'm upping my game this year to having 3 breeze blocks here instead of 2. See whether that helps me. Okay, see ya.